32. Definitions. Rule 32 defines the terms whistle, short blast, and prolonged blast. To view the rule provisions, click the button below. The following sound definitions will be used throughout the section. The term whistle, as defined in Rule 32A, definitions, refers to any sound signaling appliance capable of producing the prescribed blasts and meeting the specifications in Annex 3 to these regulations. According to Rule 32B, definitions, a short blast is defined as a blast lasting about 1 second. While, according to Rule 32C, definitions, a prolonged blast is defined as a blast lasting 4 to 6 seconds. Please consider the following additional information related to Rule 32. In practice, the range at which a whistle can be heard varies greatly and is highly dependent on weather conditions. Also, the range may be greatly reduced if there is a strong wind or a high level of ambient noise at the listening post. The next video will explain the difference between a short blast and a long blast whistle.
Whistle, as defined in Annex 3, a whistle is any sound signaling device capable of producing the prescribed blast. A 1-second blast is referred to as a short blast. A prolonged blast is one that lasts between 4 and 6 seconds.
Rule 33, Equipment for sound signals. According to Rule 33, vessels 12 meters or longer must carry a whistle and a bell, and vessels 100 meters or longer must also have a gong. To view the rule provisions, click the button below. Vessels will be equipped with the following signaling devices: a vessel longer than 100 meters in length, a bell and gong, or similar equipment, and a whistle. A vessel longer than 20 meters but less than 100 meters, a bell, or equipment that produces the same sound, and a whistle. A whistle on a vessel longer than 12 meters but less than 20 meters. A vessel of less than 12 meters in length, nothing is required, but she must have some means of producing an effective sound signal. The frequencies and ranges of sound signaling equipment are specified in Annex 3 of the rules. These are images of various types of whistles. Among those whistles, steam whistles have the advantage of allowing other vessels to easily identify which vessel is making the sound signal. The bell, the gong, and horn signal are commonly used sound devices that are especially useful for vessels with restricted visibility. The following video will show the equipment for sound signals.
A whistle. And a bell. Must be provided on any vessel longer than 12 meters, or 39.4 feet. If the vessel is longer than 100 meters, or 328 feet, it should have a whistle. A bell. And a gong. The specifications for this equipment can be found in the COLREGs Annex 3. A vessel with a length of less than 12 meters, or 39.4 feet, is not required to carry these sound signals. However, alternative arrangements for producing an efficient sound signal should be in place.
Rule 34, Maneuvering and Warning Signals. Rule 34 addresses maneuvering and warning signals, such as the use of a whistle or lights. To view the rule provisions, click the button below. Rule 34 applies to vessels that are within visual range of one another. Rule 34 does not apply to vessels that are not in visual contact with one another, except vessels nearing a bend. Lone vessel navigating a large sea area. Vessels in or near a restricted visibility zone. There should be a clear distinction between maneuvering signals and warning signals. It is also important to note the turning or slowing down signals in Rule 34A are required for power-driven vessels that are underway, in sight of each other, and maneuvering in accordance with the rules. Remember also that ships in proximity use maneuvering signals to help them understand each other's actions. Sound signals in maneuvering and warning signals. A vessel turning to starboard can indicate its intentions with a 1 short blast, about 1 second. A vessel approaching port can indicate its intentions by sounding 2 short blasts and turning to port. Three short blasts indicate that a vessel's engines are moving astern, indicating that she is reversing or slowing down. If a ship is dissatisfied with your maneuvering, she will sound 5 or more short blasts. A ship in a narrow channel may sound 2 long blasts followed by 2 short blasts, if she needs you to move over to allow her to pass on your port side. However, you may create sound of 5 short blasts if you do not agree to make room. Indication of a lack of available space. If she wishes to pass on your starboard side, she will sound 2 long and 1 short blasts. If you agree to give the vessel space, you could sound 1 long, 1 short, 1 long, and 1 short blast. Yes is denoted by this sound signal. When approaching a blind bend, a vessel may sound 1 long blast, 4 to 6 seconds, to warn other vessels around the bend. 1 long blast, clear the path. Any vessels in the vicinity should respond with their own prolonged blast. The section for warning signals, Rule 34D(e), states that the warning signals, consisting of at least 5 short and rapid blasts, may be supplemented by a light signal, consisting of at least 5 short and rapid flashes. Take note that the supplementary light signal may not be used in place of the whistle signal. The warning signal must include at least 5 blasts. The light warning signal can be transmitted using an Aldi's lamp or a searchlight. In accordance with Rule 9F, the warning signal composed of a prolonged blast for vessels approaching a bend shall be sounded. When more than one whistle is installed and they are more than 100 meters apart, only one whistle may be used. The table shows the summary of maneuvering and warning signals. The following media explains the various maneuvering and warning signals that vessels must give when approaching each other. Rule 35, Sound signals in restricted visibility. Rule 35 addresses the use of sound signals in low visibility situations. To view the rule provisions, click the button below. In low visibility situations, all vessels are regarded to be equally liable for collision avoidance. No one may expect to be recognized and given priority by other vessels. The goal of fog signals is to notify other vessels that you are present and to provide some indication of what you are doing. When operating in or near a low visibility environment, and especially when approaching one, fog signals must be used. The fog density, which mandates the usage of fog signs, has yet to be determined. When the real visibility is equivalent to, or higher than, the audible range of the sound signals being employed, it is argued that there is no use in generating sound signals. However, if visibility is poor, it is advisable to use sound signals in accordance with good seamanship. Example, are you on the open ocean or in coastal pilotage waters, as this provides enough notice to small vessels. This section will illustrate sound signals in restricted visibility. At intervals of no more than 2 minutes. A power-driven vessel is underway and on its way. At intervals of no more than 2 minutes. A power-driven vessel is underway, but not making way. At intervals of no more than 2 minutes. Any of the following: a sailing vessel, a fishing vessel, a vessel not under command, a vessel restricted in ability to maneuver, a vessel constrained by draft, or a vessel towing. at intervals of no more than 2 minutes. A vessel being towed, or the last vessel in a line of vessels being towed. At intervals of no more than 2 minutes. A pilot vessel is on duty. At intervals of no more than 1 minute. A vessel of less than 100 meters in length that is at anchor. A bell at the bow, and a gong at the stern sound at 1 minute intervals. A vessel of more than 100 meters in length that is at anchor. At intervals of no more than 1 minute. A vessel of less than 100 meters in length has run aground. For a vessel of her size, sounded after the anchor signal. An additional signal sent by a vessel at anchor to warn an approaching vessel of the possibility of collision. In foggy conditions, what can a navigator accomplish with his limited resources? First, use a good radar reflector and navigation lights to make yourself as visible as possible. Second, instruct your crew to keep a good and consistent lookout, and to listen as well. Third, in a motorboat, proceed at safe speed. Fourth, if you're sailing, start your engine, or at the very least test it and have it ready to go. Fifth, if you have radar, make sure your most experienced crew is constantly using it to avoid collisions. Sixth, have good intelligence, know which direction most of the traffic is likely to approach from and, if possible, avoid the busiest lanes. Seventh, if you find yourself in a hot situation, turn parallel to the traffic flow until it cools down. Finally, understand your fog signals. It will assist you in making informed decisions. Let us take a closer look at the following Rule 35 reminders. A vessel of less than 12 meters in length is not required to make these signals. Instead, she must make an efficient sound signal at no more than 2-minute intervals. Anyone who does not make a sound signal in low visibility is taking a significant risk, and given how simple it is to have an air-powered horn, or a trumpet-type horn aboard, always keep a proper watch on the bridge when a vessel is at anchor or aground. If a vessel gets too close, sound the Morse code letter R, or U, as appropriate. In the event of approaching danger, make proper use of your Automatic Identification System, AIS, and/or Very High Frequency, VHF. The table shows the summary of sound signals, in a situation of restricted visibility. Rule 36, Signals to attract attention. Rule 36 deals with the use of signals to draw attention. Vessels may use the following signals to attract attention. First in the list is a searchlight beam, aimed at the dangerous area. Second is a hand flare, displaying a white light. Third option is the deck or working lights. Lastly, use sound signals. 2 short blasts followed by 1 prolonged blast, Morse code, U. 2 short flashes followed by 1 prolonged flash, Morse code, U. Rule 36 specifies that the signals to attract attention must be light or sound signals. Therefore, the use of day shapes are not applicable. Warning signals must never be confused with any other signal authorized elsewhere in the rules. Additionally, the use of high-intensity intermittent or revolving lights, such as strobe lights, is prohibited under this rule. Rule 37. Distress signals. Distress signals are covered under Rule 37. Vessels use distress signals as clearly as possible, to be recognized easily and rapidly, to encourage assistance quickly. Keep in mind that only those signals listed in Annex 4 to these rules are considered as distress signals. We will cover the complete list of distress signals in a separate section. Annexes of this module. Review the following key points to remember for Part D, sound and light signals. Rule 32 to 37 can be summarized as follows. Let us test your knowledge of COLREGs Part D, sound and light signals. Continue to the activity below. You have now completed the section. Return to the